In the contemporary world, there were often debates about whether head coverings in Islam are religious commandments or are the consequence of culture. Head coverings, particularly the hijab and burqa, are often scrutinized in public, and when further questions are asked, many are unsure as to whether head coverings are religious commandments or are the byproduct of culture. In this video, I will investigate the basis of head coverings in Islam and whether they are religious commandments or not. All videos on this channel are properly researched with scholarly articles and academic books, and without further ado, you're watching All Things Humanities. In the Islamic tradition, ethics and duties are prescribed from the Quran and the Hadith, the two sacred texts of Islam. This is standard practice in the Islamic tradition, as the two texts provide the foundations of duties and responsibilities for Muslims. This is because the texts record the doings and sayings of Muhammad and is therefore the foundation of Islamic duty. So let's begin by looking at the Quran, Islam's holy book. There are two significant verses in Islam that act as the basis for head coverings. In the Quran 24:31, it says, "And not display their beauty except what is apparent, and they should place their kumma over their bosoms," referring to women. Firstly, the kumma is the plural of the Arabic word kima, meaning the veil covering the head. So, in the context of this quotation, it's a piece of cloth that covers the head. Now, at the end of the verse, it instructs women to place their kumma over their bosoms, and their bosoms alone. The Islamic academic and scholar Syed Muhammad Rizvi seems to see this as a direct commandment from Allah. There is also evidence that Aisha, Muhammad's wife, said that when this verse was revealed, all of the women of Medina got hold of their aprons, tore them apart, and used them to cover their heads. Now, this quotation has been understood differently across the Islamic world. More progressive Muslims, like Sufi Muslims, who search inward for God, would claim that Muslim women should only cover themselves modestly. It can be argued that the Quran only specifies that the bosoms are to be covered. It follows that the Quran does not spell out the details of a head covering and, once again, no penalty for a woman who is not veiled. While there is credit to this argument, Quran 33:59 states, "O Prophet, say to your wives, your daughters, and the women of the believers, that they should let down upon themselves their jalabib." Now, a jalabib is understood as the shirt or a wide dress, wider than the scarf and shorter than a robe, that a woman puts on her head and lets it down on her bosom. This means that the Islamic dress code involves the overall dress that should be long and loose. The fact that there are Quranic verses that stipulate dress codes for women seems to suggest that head coverings are, in fact, religious commandments. Now, Syed Muhammad Rizvi, an Islamic scholar, argues that while the command says to only cover their bosom, it is implied that it would involve the head too. This is because the jalabib and hijab cannot be worn to cover the bosom unless it is over the head. So, in other words, it cannot be worn properly unless it goes over the head. These commandments are often interpreted differently, and as a result, Muslim women express their dress in a variety of ways. More progressive women generally will focus on Quranic instructions to dress modestly, and I think it's fair to say that the Quran does provide some basis for head coverings for women. Islamic women, depending on their Islamic schools of thought, have understood this differently, and as a result, there are Muslim women who wear the burqa, the hijab, or no head covering at all. I hope this video was informative and helped clarify the reason why women do cover their heads in the Islamic tradition. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more content.